What up? Welcome to another episode of Source and Company. I am your host, Source, of course. As always, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Source, of course. And I guess I'll say you can follow me on TikTok. It's kind of different. I don't know if y'all necessarily want to do that, but if you're on TikTok, Source, of course, on there as well. We got it popping on TikTok. I ain't gonna lie to you. We kind of got it popping on TikTok, so might want to check in. Anyway, today's company is so many things. Like he's a DJ, he's a dad, he's a husband. But what we're talking about is the fact that he's a DJ. He is the host of the Without No DJ podcast. He does wedding, bar mitzvah, whatever you need. He's in the mix, and he kills it in any DJ competition you want. And y'all want problems? Y'all want some smoke from the family? This is my cousin as well. Let's throw that in there. Today's company, B-Man. What's good, bro?
What's going on? What's going on?
Oh, man, nothing much. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Ready to stuff my face on Thursday. That's about it.
I ain't even mad at you. So we got the greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, ram, ham, whatever.
Right. All of that.
Yeah. So, I've actually talked to you. You've been on what? You were on the Sourcing Company kind of like Father's Day thing I did a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Where I did like short videos with dads talking about being a dad. And you've been on the SBP, the Sports Bar Podcast, and we did a movie review. What was it? We did Juice.
Yep, we did Juice.
Yeah. So now we got you on the big show, like Fat Joe like to say, big show. How you doing? What's going on in your world, man? It's almost Turkey Day and all that. So I know you got some family stuff popping up.
Man, you know what? Just getting back into the swing of things since things are opening back up. At the current moment, ready to stuff my face, man. It's all about Thursday. Thanksgiving for me.
Like I said, I'm not mad at you. What are you looking forward to specifically? Because I'll tell you what I'm not looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to frying this turkey. I don't feel like it. But I really.
So you the turkey guy? You in charge of the turkey?
I am. I got to fry the turkey, bro. It's become a thing. So, and my mother-in-law loves it. It's a thing. I don't have a choice, really. But I am looking forward to somebody better show up with a coconut pie, sweet potato pie, some kind of pie. And my mother-in-law, who is not a cook, don't tell her. She know it, but she makes this sweet, I don't even know what it's called, sweet potato pecan casserole. That joint
that sounds delicious.
Crazy. I think it's because she put like 18 pounds of sugar in it, but still, it's crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a problem.
I'm not mad at that.
What are you looking forward to?
Man, for me, you know what? I know this is crazy. It's three things I look forward to every year. It's yams, of course, the macaroni and cheese, and I mix mine too.
Oh, you're that guy.
And it's weird. Well, actually, four. I'm gonna do four. The mac and cheese, yams. My mom fixed this unique stuffing that I feel like nobody can make it, but I love it every year. And I'm a meatball guy. Like any occasion you fix me meatballs, I'm good with that. Barbecue meatballs, I'm good with that. So I'm looking forward to meatballs.
Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what? Actually, it's funny because our cousin Toya, I texted her. I said, "Tell me something about Brandon that I don't know," and she sent me just a couple of random things, but she did say his mom's meatballs.
Yeah. Every occasion, baby shower, birthday, I don't care what it is, wedding. Yo, you fix me some meatballs, we're good. We're on the same page.
Word. So you said you're getting back into the swing of things. That includes DJing in public, and it also includes the podcast, right?
Right. Correct.
How
we are bringing the podcast.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, how's that been going?
It's been good, man. Last year I think we did about 2 filmings, 2 episodes. I think with my thing with the podcast is I want the guests in studio. So we could have did a lot of different people last year, but I was like, nah, let's just save it for in studio, because number one, that's building a relationship with the DJ, and then on top of that, I just feel like, if they're there, I can go over what I'm going to ask before, and we can just kind of vibe and hang out. So we are literally gearing up to film some more episodes very, very soon. Actually, the studio that we recorded at just moved locations. So yeah, very, very soon. DJing is pretty much back full swing. So still a couple of places closed or whatnot, but for the most part, everything's full swing.
I guess, with most guests, I like to take it back to the childhood and figure out how they even got to where they are. So let's go back a little bit. Where are we going? We're going to South Boston, Halifax?
South Boston, yep.
South Boston. Represent SB.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if they throw gang signs or what, but tell me about growing up in South Boston and, just your childhood. You ain't got to go crazy with it, sure. But, whatever you got.
Sure. So when I was growing up, I was always fascinated with music. Quick fact about me, I could dance before I could freaking walk. So every holiday, I would be the kid, your mom tell you, do that dance she was doing the other day. So I was the entertainment. I would put on shows for guests. And my parents had a component set in the living room. And I was just fascinated. And my dad had a box of records that he would bring out every so often. And one record that stood out to me is like Candy State and Victim. He had that. He had Patti LaBelle, which I still have the exact record. I scratched it up. And I was just fascinated with music, man. Just very, very fascinated with music. So, as a kid, I didn't get a lot of toys. I always wanted a boombox, a microphone. I had a Nintendo, but as a 2-year-old, I had MC Hammer posters on my wall. My fists were named MC Hammer, High Five, and MC Light, I want to say. Like, that just tells you how much I was into music. So, yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. I like that MC Light. I was just talking about favorite female MCs yesterday. And, it's so many to choose. I think it's more to choose from now than ever before, obviously, because it's more time that hip hop has been a thing. But MC Light, Lauryn Hill and MC Light are still my favorites, regardless of what we're talking about. I love Rhapsody too, don't get me wrong. But
for sure,
Lauryn Hill and MC Light, they're like on the pedestal. Do you have favorite artists? Like, I know a few DJs who they don't like love a specific artist necessarily, or maybe they do, but they don't listen to full projects, full albums. It's just being a DJ. I think DJs are kind of different kind of dudes, like, to tell you the truth.
Right. My favorite artist, I mean, of course, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan, but my favorite artist that I can listen to in and out, and I'm not biased when I say this, is D'Angelo. Anything D'Angelo, I'm like on it, bro. Like, huge fan of D'Angelo.
Really? Michael?
Very big fan. Yep. Voodoo, that Voodoo album changed my life.
Really?
Absolutely.
I say that Common Sense's Resurrection changed. I say it changed my life, but I really mean like changed the trajectory of my thinking, really.
Right,
like,
right.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. What was it about Voodoo that stuck with you? Did it have anything to do with the Virginia thing? Just being from Virginia?
Not, what's crazy, man? So I heard that record like years later. I think I heard that record in 2005, 6, because my cousins had the album when it came out. And of course, I knew Brown Sugar. I knew he was from Richmond. Matter of fact, D'Angelo and my cousin, his mom and my cousin were friends. So he used to come to our house and all that when I was young.
Oh, yeah?
But he probably doesn't remember me today. but I just knew of him as Brown Sugar Lady, all that stuff. And the crazy thing is, 2006, I would download albums just to have them. And I downloaded Voodoo. I'm like, man, I remember them talking about this album when it came out and how it was great. I was cleaning my room one day, I put it on. I'm like, man, this is fantastic. Like, why did I miss this album for so many years? And I think it was more so just the pocket that the drummer like Questlove, and it had a Dilla feel to it. And I'm like, why is everything so sloppy, but it's still on beat? Like that just changed my whole rhythm, like everything. Because at the time I was making beats too. And 2006, that's around like the crunk era, like that was still going on. Snap music was just coming around. So to hear real instrumentation and pocket changed me, man.
Word.
Changed me.
Well, I will tell you this. You said your cousin. Is this a cousin on your other side that knew D'Angelo? No D'Angelo?
Yes. Well,
okay.
I got to think about it.
Right.
Yeah, it's on my other side. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I went to high school with D'Angelo, actually.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I always whenever I mention that, I always say this one fact. It's funny because when I picture him, I see the old suspender farmer joints with the one strap off and some Doc Martin boots on. And it's the visual I get when I think of back in the day. Oh man.
When I tell you I'm a huge fan, bro, like I'm a huge fan, bro. Huge fan. Yeah.
So you mentioned production. I think we talked about production. I don't think we've talked about production in a long time. We talked about it like years ago.
Right.
Anything you care to mention about?
Oh yeah. So okay. So I'm gonna make a long story short.
Yeah.
2000, I would say 2002. I like everybody else, I wanted to be a rapper. I wanted to be a rapper. Wasn't my thing, right? So I had two other guys in a group with me, and we started a group. But I just noticed I'm not a rapper. I'm not a lyricist. I'm not good at it. So I downloaded this program. It was online, and my mom. We had a family computer at that time. Everybody had one computer with no laptops. And it was a Gateway computer, brand new Gateway. Gateway was like the Mac at that time. Like, if you got a Gateway, but I basically knew how to work it, and I downloaded this program called Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
Before it was mainstream, I had never heard of it, and I remember I was just clicking the little things. I'm like, oh, this is how it works. And I took it to school. I had burnt the program on a data disk. That tells you how long ago that was.
Yeah.
And I gave it to my friends, and they're laughing at the name of Fruity Loops. Like, what? So I stuck with it, and I learned how to sample. And so when I would just take anything old my mom had, OJs, whatever, and try to chop it up. And I put it inside this program, and I started making beats. They were distorted as crap. I didn't know anything about levels, nothing. I just burnt it to a CD. So people were like, yo, you did this? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, yo, this is kind of good. Now I look back at it, it's terrible. But I was making beats for artists. Actually, the guy you're wearing a t-shirt for was my first check I got for making a beat. So I think I got like $300, and I produced on his, I want to say, first or second album. And that was like his single that he was running with. And
how has he never mentioned that? I don't understand.
Yeah. Rising Sun. That's what he went by at that time.
Yes, Raz Rashid, for those who don't know, who is married. He's our cousin.
Exactly. How crazy is that?
That's why I wore a shirt.
So I did that for a while. I produced for him. And then after that, I moved to Greensboro, North Carolina, and that's around 2005. And I'm still doing the beats. And at the time I'm in high school, and I'm kind of like the cool guy that makes beats, right? In high school. And it was this website called SoundClick.
Mhm.
I would put beats up. Me and my best friend, we would put beats up. And long story short, man, we ended up catching the attention of Dipset. We actually did, I want to say 2 records with this group. They were from the UK called SAS. They were signed to Jewels, I want to say. And we did 2 records on their mixtapes. So that was like a big deal.
Yeah.
We did that. Then I ended up doing some stuff for the Chicken Noodle Soup Girl, Young B and Webstar. I did a record for them. So I'm getting all these checks, and it's funny because Bathing Ape Shoe were like the thing, and I'm obsessed with them at that time, right? So I'm getting all these money orders. At that time, it was no Cash App. I'm getting money orders to my house, and my mom's like, "I need to talk to you. Like, how you like? Are you doing something illegal? Because you're making $500, and I'm taking you to cash these money. Like, what are you selling?" And I'm like, "Mom, I'm selling beats." And she's like, "You need to be like going to parties with your friend." Like, I would literally come home from school, hit Fruity Loops, make a beat. Then I'm like, "Mom, did I get a money order?" "Yeah, you got another money order. What are you doing, Brandon?" So after a while, I would just buy all. I mean, I literally had a closet full of bathing apes. Now I look back at it, I'm like, I really wasted all that money on shoes. I was obsessed with bathing apes.
But this was in
So
high school,
that
though, bro. That's
this
high
was in
school.
high school.
That's nuts.
This is in high school. So yeah, I did that, and it's just always been a thing that I did, and that led up to me when I moved to Charlotte. I ended up working with Anthony Hamilton on his project, producing for him, which is pretty crazy too.
I did not know that. I did not know that.
Yep.
For some reason, I
Yep.
have Smiles and South Star stuck in my brain. But it's probably, you said the Chicken Noodle Soup
Yep.
girl and you said Webstar.
Webstar, DJ Webstar, and Young B.
That's what
he
it
was
is.
on like Love and Hip Hop recently or something, right?
Or
Yep.
Yeah, I don't. That's way out of my lane. I wouldn't know. Wouldn't know a thing.
The crazy thing is the record I produced, Flex played it. Just imagine you being in hours away, you're in high school, and Flex is dropping bombs. And Clue. They played this on the radio. They played it like 5 times, and I'm in high school. Yeah, and I did this on my mom's computer. Yeah.
If you need inspiration, that's a good story to inspire somebody. Yeah, I was in high school just making beats on the family computer and work with Dipset people and the Chicken and Noodle Soup girl. Like
That's true.
That's crazy. That's
funny
crazy.
Story is, I'm gonna throw this in there too.
Yeah.
I went to meet sorry about that. I went to meet Knife Wonder. I seen him in the Source. Ended up meeting them when I went to A&T. Jump a little ahead. I know we can go back to it, but I ended up meeting Fonte and Big Pooh. They did like a concert in an open area, like a pavilion, and I gave them a beat CD. And I was like, they're not gonna listen to it. I remember getting a call like 40 minutes later. They called, "Yo, you did this? Yo, you sure you did this? Like, you could show us where you did it?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Yo, man, you got some heat." They were like, "Yo, you got heat." So I'm like, wow, like little brother likes my beats. That's pretty crazy. And after Ninth started using, he did the Threat record.
Right.
That was like, wow, I'm using Fruity Loops, so it's cool to use it now. You know what I mean? Yeah, just a random story.
Hey, your little brother story is better than my little brother's story.
Your story is entertaining, for real.
My story is funny and embarrassing. Not embarrassing. It is embarrassing, but not for real. But anyway, so let's talk about. Let's take a time out. Let's take a quick skirt.
Sure.
Let's talk about. Now you're happily married man,
Sure.
father of one.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, I believe you would throw it all away for Maya. What is this love that you have for Maya? What is it?
Hey man, listen, I don't know what it is, bro. Like from day one, my aunt can tell you, like when I was like, how old was I? She came out in '98, so I was like 9 years old. Um, I was just upset. I thought she was the prettiest thing. Even at 9 years old, I was obsessed with her. And the crazy story, this is gonna sound all bad, no disrespect to Aaliyah. We went to a family cookout and I stayed with my aunt that night. And this was the night Aaliyah passed in the car in a plane crash.
Right.
My aunt tells me, she's like, Maya just passed. I'm like, what? I'm like devastated. And so she came back a couple of minutes and said, I'm sorry, it was Aaliyah. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, not
Yeah.
disrespect to her, but I'm just like, I love Aaliyah, but I'm so focused on Maya. It's just like, oh man, crazy story.
That's
I
understood
love
though.
Aaliyah though.
Understood though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
I still got the tape over there, like the actual tape I had when I was 9 years old.
Holy what? Maya?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna get it for you.
This man got the Maya. So I know y'all like
Actually,
he really loves Maya. Like I've seen him actually with Maya in video or pictures, and
she signed the tape.
look at this. Look at this dude.
This is
Look at
my
this
actual
dude.
tape from when I was 9 years old. Yeah,
So when did she sign that? Recently? Like in the last
recently, like
yeah.
a couple of months ago.
Word. That is nuts. That's a keeper right there. That's a keeper right there.
Yep.
This
Listen,
man's
any meet and greet I get with her opportunity, I'm there. I am there. I am
understand.
there.
Man, dang. Does your wife have somebody that she, I'm not gonna say obsessed, but that she likes at that same level?
I think it's Michael B. Jordan for her. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go on a whim. She don't really go crazy like me, but I think it's Michael B. Jordan. That's her. At one time it was Nelly. Now I think it's Michael B. Jordan. But that's cool. That's cool.
It got to be cool. The way you love Maya, it got to be.
Yeah, yeah. I'll take that. I'll eat that.
So for those who don't know, B-Man is, well, we've already talked about him being a DJ and being a producer, but those two loves, I think, kind of come together when you make the creative content. This man
Right.
does edits, which basically show you the record, the original record, and then how it, not necessarily how it became a sample, but the song that's more current that was taken from that original record. Does that make sense? Is that right?
That's correct. That's correct.
So most recently, I saw it today actually. You had a Natalie Cole, right? You said Bink suggested that you do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the crazy
Natalie
thing is,
Cole to
man,
All I Need.
yep. The crazy thing is I did a I was just doing it like last year, especially. I was stuck in the house and I had started doing it before, but last year I had a lot of time on my hands, everybody in the house.
Right.
And I did the Jay-Z You, Me, Him or Her record. I always loved that beat. Like when I heard the Dynasty album, that was the song I played over and over. That 1-900 Hustler and Just Want to Love You. I played those records over and over and over. So I did that, and I was always fascinated with it. Like, what part did he sample in the song? Like, I heard the sample 1,000 times, but I could never figure it out. And one day, I DM Bink, and he responded. I was like, "Wow, Bink responded to me." And I'm asking him, like, "What part did you sample?" He's like, "Honestly, I don't even know. I just did the beat. He couldn't tell me." And so I literally just played the record fast. I played it slow. I'm like, and I found it. I was like, that's it right there. Put it in. I did the transition, put it up, and he reposted it. And about 3 days ago, he randomly reposted it again. Like, this is how I did this beat. And kind of went viral. Like if you go to his page, and so he hit me in a DM. We started talking, and he goes, "Hey man, I want to start a series with you to turn you on to other producers, like to do this thing. It's pretty cool." So yeah, so I guess look out for that. Yep.
I like the way you keep things to yourself until they actually come to fruition, and then bam, look at this. That's dope,
man.
Yeah, true. That's true. That's dope. For those who don't know, if anybody doesn't know, Bink is a producer from Virginia. He's crazy. Well, like he just mentioned, he did well, the 2 joints you mentioned. So yeah, he's dope. Excuse me. Let's see. What is it about the art of DJing that got you really hooked into it? Like I know you said you love music, but I love music, and I've said it. I think I made a post about it like on Facebook or somewhere. I would never want to be a DJ. One, because sometimes it can be a thankless job. Two, people expect you to be at least solid. So if you mess up, it's clear. It's kind of like being a referee. If you mess up, it's definitely going to show. They might not pay attention to you outside of that, but they're going to know if you mess up. And it just seems like a lot of work. Plus, I'd be playing records that I love, and I ain't even worry about the crowd. I'd just be having a good time for myself. What is it that kind of hooks you into being a DJ for real, for real? Even outside of the cutting, because you're a cutting DJ as well.
For me, man, I think DJing is something. It's all music is all I know, bro. I never wanted to be a mechanic. I never wanted to be into sports. It's all that I know. It's just in me, and it's crazy because, like, my parents aren't into it like that. Nobody I really know besides my cousin, who pretty much got me started, is into it. And I always love music, like just sitting and listening to a record and watching. Well, when you're DJing, watching people that you control their emotions is like the craziest feeling in the world. Yeah. Somebody can walk into your party and be sad, they got bills past due, and you change their emotions. Best feeling in the world, man. Best feeling in the world.
That's a beautiful
and I think
thing.
that's what keeps me going.
That's a beautiful thing. Now I've seen clips, like I know you do club stuff. You've done like spots on news station, like the daily news or whatever, and they bring you in. I don't know if we ever talked, did you actually do the Atlanta Braves thing? Or was it no, Braves,
we never right? We never got that far because of COVID, but hopefully soon. COVID kind of messed it up. But hopefully soon. It's still there.
Word. Oh, okay. I didn't know if I didn't know if it happened and then you just kept it on the low or
Nah, man. It actually, I think that place just opened back up recently because COVID just shut it down, you know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yep.
So hopefully soon.
And but how many times did you win a Sprite competition once or was it multiple times?
So I did the first DJ battle I did was the Sprite DJ battle here in Charlotte. I won that. And then I did what's the second one? Oh, I did Power 98, which is the current hip hop and R&B station here. I did that one and I won first place. Then after that, I did a Coors Light one and I won that one too, all in the same year. So that was great. I think that was 2014.
You ran the table out there.
It was crazy, man. I was lucky, man. I was lucky.
Why you say that?
I mean, honestly, I think I'm okay as a DJ. My passion for it is there. I don't think I'm the greatest DJ, but I don't know. I just feel like I got lucky because I battled this guy who was like a DMC finalist. Actually, he's a champion.
Oh, word?
So for me, and he was just on Versus with the Stephanie Mills thing the other night. So for me, looking at that, I'm like, that dude is incredible. DJ E's incredible. So for me to battle him and people voted for me, I was like, what? What? That dude is incredible. So yeah, I got lucky.
Respect. I respect the humbleness. I respect the humbleness. But and the respect. Like I think you're being real. Like you're saying he's
I
better.
got a lot of respect for that dude. Yeah.
Word. That's dope. That's dope. Let me see. Because it was a last minute. It just popped in my head. I was like, let me text Toya and
Sure.
see what she
Hey,
said.
I'm here with you.
Bruh. She threw out the meatballs thing. She actually said to Michael Jackson, he used to be
Oh
do talent
man.
shows. Used to do
Oh
talent shows.
man. Okay. Yeah. So when I was I'm not proud of this fact right here, but when I was young, I used to do talent shows and I used to impersonate Michael Jackson. And I used to win the talent shows. Like, matter of fact, the dude that I would battle, he impersonated Michael Jackson too. He went on to do the Apollo, which you can go on YouTube and look at his performance. He got a standing ovation. His name is Joe Haskins, and me and him always back and forth. Like me and him was against each other all the time, but we were cool.
Right.
But that dude was a bad dude. So yeah, I went through that stage where I think everybody goes to a stage where they like Mike real hard.
No.
Well, I was obsessed with Mike, man. I mean, I literally would watch Moonwalker every day. The only thing I wouldn't watch was Thriller. I was terrified of Thriller. But yeah.
No, for real, my wife's younger brother, he was the same way. So it's understood.
Yep.
It's understood. Yep. Let's not to go all negative, but we talked about it before, so I'm guessing it's okay to bring it up.
Absolutely.
So you and your wife had a I guess we call it I don't know if it's called a miscarriage at that point, or is it?
It's called a stillbirth.
Stillbirth.
Mm-hmm.
And that was not that long before your wife got pregnant again. Right. What was it? Because like we talked about it before, and I'm telling you, like I understand that it's crazy, it's heavy on her and you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
absolutely.
One, for that to happen, and then to try to do it again, and you got to deal with all the emotions of going forward and not telling people too quickly and being worried and all that type of stuff. What was it? Was it anything that happened that made y'all like, let's try again?
Honestly, man, I think it was more so my wife. I think I was still kind of in a place where I was still grieving. But I think my wife, pushing me forward and saying, let's try again. Because I kind of was stuck in this rut, to be honest. Like I'm scared of that happening again.
Right.
And even with the pregnancy with Parker, I was on edge the whole time. You know what I mean? Like that was devastating for me. That I had a rough year that year. Like that was devastating. But with the help of therapy, I got through it.
Really?
Yeah.
I love when people say that, because I don't think that people, even now, even though it's become less of a stigma to say, or you went to therapy, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. I still think, especially Black men,
mm-hmm.
a lot of Black men are still like, I ain't going to no therapy. I ain't paying no therapist to tell me something that I already know, or whatever the case may be. What was it? Something specific? Like, was it that situation that pushed you into going, or was it something bigger?
It was my wife, man. I think my wife seen that I was hurt. I had a hard time, man. Actually, at the time, we lived in an apartment before we got our house. And I think the hardest day, we had a room. It was actually, we had a 2-bedroom apartment. This was 2019. 2-bedroom apartment. And that room, the second room was kind of like where I had my DJ equipment. So I had to move all the stuff, and that was her room now. And I think the hardest thing for me was actually when we moved, we had it. Basically, our family came when it happened and they covered everything up. And I barely ever went in that room. I literally would put my DJ bag in there and go and pick it out. So everything was covered, but we had a crib, we put up everything. I mean, the room was all hers, toys, bottles. And the day we had to clear it out was, oh my God, I broke down, man. Like that was the hardest thing I think ever, minus that day of that happening. So, but my wife is the one who pushed me to go to therapy. And you never notice how many people, how many times that happens. Like they don't really advertise it. I didn't. Well, at least I didn't notice it until it happened. I was like, "Wow, this happens." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it was healing for me to hear somebody else. Not that I want anybody to go through that. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. But to hear somebody else saying, "Hey, this happened to me. This is how I got through it," and we all talked about it. It definitely helped me a lot.
You did group therapy.
We started off with group, and then we ended up moving to solo therapy because a lot of those stories, like ours was bad, and then some people had it worse than us, and it was after a while, it was like, wow, this is more stressful to come here and hear their stories, and I think I have it bad. So we started doing it separately. But still, hearing somebody say, "Hey, this happened to me. You're not alone," that was not a good feeling, but a good feeling.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I feel you.
Yeah.
And now, after all that, you have young Parker tearing it up. How's she doing?
Yeah. Man, she is growing every day. And the crazy thing is, man, a lot of the stuff that I did as a kid, I'm starting to see it in her. Like I used to like mock snares and beatbox, and now I look at her, she's doing the same thing. Her rhythm is crazy. She's not even 2. And she's on beat. I'm like, oh, she loves Rapper's Delight. I don't know if you've seen that. That's her. Bro, she every day, I kid you not, we have a record player downstairs.
Right.
And I have like a couple of records beside the record player. She'll go to it, put on Rapper's Delight. And she knows how to put it on the turntable, everything. And she's 1. So
nice.
I love her to death, man. Love her to death. But I'm tired of Rapper's Delight. I'm tired of Rapper's Delight.
Say respectfully. I'm tired of hearing it.
Respectfully. Yeah.
What else you got on deck? You got anything else popping up soon outside of the dope content that you produce every once in a while? You hit the people with.
Man, I think just more weddings and just trying to expand on what I'm doing, man. Take it to another level and not just solely focusing on DJing, just putting out great content. I don't know, anything musical where I feel like I want to, expand on it. That's what I'm going to do. I don't really have any plans. I just want to make great music or remake great music.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't think we mentioned that you're in the Charlotte area. So if anybody needs a DJ for a wedding, anything like that, you know where to go.
Anything.
Follow my cousin here on Instagram specifically. At just B Man No DJ.
That's it.
There it is. That's awesome, guys. I appreciate you taking the time to join me. We finally got this done, man. Any last words? Any last thoughts?
Nah, I appreciate your time, man.
Always. All right, y'all. We're gonna get out of here. That's B Man. I'm Sauce. Out here.